So let's go over an example. So let's say that I want to create a plot that plots the following function with a total of 200 data points over the range -10 to 10. So traditionally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my data first. So x equals linspace, -10, 10, 200 data points. So I'm using linspace because I know I have 200 data points. Now, I could use the colon operator and say -10 to whatever my spacing would be to 10. However many data points that would be, 0.01, but I would need to calculate what my spacing would be. So I'm going to create my x vector, then create my y vector. So my y vector looks like this, x raised to the 4th plus 3 times x squared plus 12. So I'm using element by element operations because x is a vector. Now I want to go ahead and plot. I have my data, I want to go ahead and plot it. First thing I recommend, type figure. Figure 1. This is the first figure I am plotting, so I'm going to type figure 1. This is going to open up a new figure window. Once that figure window is open, I can go ahead and type plot. So plot x, comma, y. There we go. Plotting x, comma, y. So let me go ahead and save this. And let's step through this one at a time. So it creates my x data, shows in my workspace, creates my y data. Figure. This opens up a new figure window. You can see that here. I like to what's called dock my figure windows, which you can just click this arrow where you can say dock and it'll dock. It'll show up in your MATLAB desktop so it's not hanging around and taking up space. And then when I say plot x comma y, it creates a new set of axes in my figure window where it takes all the values in y, all the values in x, plots them element by element. That's the default. You can see I have my figure tab up here. I can say file, save as, I can export, setup. I like to edit copy figure. So there's lots you can do from the edit tab. That's pretty useful. Let's say I don't like the defaults. I don't like it being a solid blue line. I want it to be a dash dotted red line. So I would just use my line specifiers, where I can say dash dot is my line type, and then red. So now it's going to be a dash dotted red line. Let's say I want the line to be thicker. So line width, I want it to be a line width of 4 or 5. We'll try 5. Run it. Oh, wow, that's a little too thick. Let's pull it back. Let's try 3. Run it, see what it looks like. Looks better. It's still a little thick. Try 2. There we go. 2 is nicer. So we can see these are our line specifiers, and here I have my additional properties. Let's say I wanted to also plot this data using fplot. So I can open up a new figure window, so type figure 2, and then I can say fplot. So with fplot, I don't need to create my data. I'm just gonna say fplot at, in parentheses, I have my x, my independent variable, and then I type my function. So essentially whatever I typed up here, just copy and paste, it's element by element, and then I type in my range. My range is gonna be -10 to 10. There we go. So this is gonna open up a new figure window. Here's figure 2, I'm gonna dock that as well. And we can see my data is also plotted. I can also add line specifiers here. So I can do this as well for fplot. So if I make it big, you can see I have my limits and then my line specifiers. So I can do that also with fplot. And we can see they are literally replicated. The fplot is a little bit tighter on the axes, but that's fine. I can change my axes for figure 1. I can say axis, and then specify my x-min, y-min, -10, 10, and then I want to go from 0 to, I don't know, 10,000. So now in figure 1, it's a little bit tighter. If I want to change these side by side, I can just click and drag, and now they're side by side. I can add titles, so title to figure 1, data with plot, and here I can do title data with fplot. So run it, now I have titles. Let's say I want to change it also, I don't want lines, I want markers. So I want this to have data markers that are periods, just dots. And for my fplot, I want it to have circle data markers. Both of them will be red as well. So here we can see there. So in this data with plot, we can see that there are 200 dots. There are 200 data markers used to generate this data. With fplot, though, it only used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It only used 19 because only 19 were required to generate a smooth plot. Either one is completely valid, though. I like this first option because it's solid. It works for any set of data, even if it's not a specified math function. So here's my first set of examples.